Let me pause with you for a few moments and look at one lesson which comes from our gospel reading today. Can you all hear me okay? Yes. Wonderful. It's important that you hear me, otherwise I'll be talking to the wall. Well, let me look at this gospel reading. Jesus speaks about sin. We are all, at some time, very conscious of our sinfulness. But most of the time, even if we sin, we don't notice it. Let me tell you about sin. Sin has nothing to do with laws or commandments. Sin has to do with relationships. Greed, jealousy, violence, all of these things have to do with relationships, how we relate to one another. You're not breaking a law when you sin. You're breaking a relationship. So let me talk about relationships and how they speak to us about sin. To be ungrateful is to break or wound a relationship. To be greedy, to cheat. When you cheat, you are breaking a relationship. Your integrity is wounded. Your honesty, your decency is somehow offended when you cheat. If you lie, you're breaking a relation. You're wounding the community. You're diminishing yourself. So all sin has to do with relationship. So let me speak just about one sin. In the 8th grade, I don't think you study Shakespeare. Do you study Shakespeare in the 8th grade? You do? Wonderful. Okay, well, Shakespeare takes us back 600 years. And if you study Shakespeare, one of his great works is Othello. And in this, he warns us in this way. He said, "He who steals my purse steals trash. 'Twas mine, 'tis his, 'twas slave to thousands. But he who flitches from me my good name takes what does not benefit him, but makes me poor indeed." Think about the way we talk about one another, the way we spread rumors we make judgments about one another. That's, in a way, it wounds the community. It's sinful. Think about the jealousy or, where we put people down or we don't welcome people. There's something about that really is against the law of God. So think about not so much to avoid sin today in the manner in which we live, to avoid saying bad things about another person or making judgments, but rather think about ways in which we can be positive, we can be grateful, we can thank God for the blessings of the day, thank God for the people who love us, thank God for the generosity of people who forgive us, who understand us. You all came in carpools this morning, and that happens every day. Somebody is taking care of you. Somebody drops you off, and somebody picks you up. How often do we stop and say, thank you? When your parents are so good to you and sacrifice for you, how often do we say, I haven't told you recently, I love you, and thank you for everything you do, for the life you give me? How often do we thank our teachers who show up every day and care for us and struggle to do their best for us? How often do we stop and say, I want to thank you for the sacrifices you make? Our teachers could teach in a public school and make much more money. They're here not because of money. They're here because of vocation. They're here because they want to bless us in some way, right? So how often do we stop and thank our teachers? Thank all those who work in our school to help us. You want to keep that in mind today. So when you journey through this day, during your recess or when you're in class, think about ways in which you can make a new friend. Include somebody that you think is left out. Overlook the weaknesses of another person. Be conscious of your own weakness. That's what this gospel is about. That's how we live in the presence of God. And when we live in the presence of God, We're grateful. We say nice things about other people. We try to encourage others. We lift up other people's spirits. That's what it means to follow Jesus Christ. So take the Word of God today now and allow the Word of God to somehow make a better day for us and for all those who are around us. In that way, we will bring the Word of God to life. Does that sound like something we can do? Tell me, hands up, who can do something about this today? Do I see hands? Is this going to be a happy day in school? Hey, who doesn't? You don't have your hand up. Can you do something about this today? Sure you can. Put your hand up there. Good for you. We're going to have a great day in school today. That sound good? Are you guys ready for a good day? Oh, okay. If you have a good day, it will help me to have a good day also, okay? Thank you all for being here. It's a blessing to have you, okay? So we'll be good to one another today now. Okay. Please stand now and we'll say a prayer for a moment. We'd like to say a prayer for the community. Pray that we'll be grateful today. Pray that we'll walk in God's presence today. Pray that we'll see the gift of this day as a special opportunity to bless another person. Wonderful.